Hello everyone, NBZ back here for another impromptu Pokemon X and Y news segment. Leaks have happened, ladies and gentlemen. We have the latest scans from the Japanese publication CoroCoro, and we have some new Pokemon revealed. So without further ado, we're going to break this all down and take a look into it and see what this means for the future of the Pokemon X and Y games. So these brand new scans leaked just a few hours ago, and as you can see, we have 4 brand new Pokemon revealed for the 6th generation games. So I'm going to kind of go through them individually, talk about what we know and all that kind of stuff regarding typing and names and moves and all that kind of stuff, because we have a little bit of information on each of them. But of course, you have to remember that because this is a Japanese publication, all these names are going to be in Japanese. The English ones will not be revealed until, of course, an English announcement is made regarding them. So, starting from the bottom, we have a yellow Pokemon, which is apparently some sort of lizard, and obviously being yellow, it kind of leans towards being an electric type. It has been confirmed that it is actually an electric normal type, which is rather interesting. We do see normal kind of fused with different types. Girafarig, for example, psychic normal, usually normal paired with flying, but electric normal certainly very interesting, and the Japanese name is Elikiteru, which I'm not very good at pronouncing, but there you go. It's obviously going to be in the description and on screen now. But yes, this Pokemon has a new move, apparently, which is called Parabola Charge. We don't know the deep specifics of this move, such as its base power or anything, but from what the descriptions say, it is going to be a healing move, which also deals damage, so that could be rather interesting. We're not kind of sure how powerful that would be, and I guess assuming that it is at a low level, it's going to be just revealing a low-leveled attack, so it couldn't be, you know, a huge thing on competitive play perhaps, but it is going to be an electric move, at least that's what the description seems to say. So it's called Parabola Charge, and very interesting. Certainly one of the more interesting things I feel about a new generation is the new moves, especially the ones that come into competitive play. So that's basically what we have on the Lizard Man. So we're going to move straight around to the next on the left, which is Mr. Bird over here. So this bird Pokemon is called Yayakoma, and it could be very safe to say that this is your Starly, your Pidgey equivalent, the Pokemon that you meet in the very first route. The flying normal type, it has been confirmed as flying normal, and is supposedly kind of a Robin. It very much has that feel about it, that looks like a Robin type Pokemon, and that's kind of what it's based on. So obviously going to be finding this guy early in the game. He has been confirmed to have the move Nitro Charge, which we know what that move is. It's actually Flame Charge. The Japanese name for Flame Charge is Nitro Charge. So interesting that a normal flying type has a fire move at its disposal. Certainly kind of gives a bit of a prospect as to what its competitive use could be, perhaps better than previous birds. I know things like Staraptor usually did quite well, but you know, things like Pidgey are kind of shitty down in the lower tiers. So it'll be interesting to see what other moves that this thing has up its sleeve, or up its wing, one might say. But yes, gonna keep an eye out on that guy, and let's move on again, going clockwise to the top with Panda Man. Okay, so this panda looking Pokemon is called Yancham, I believe, and he is a fighting type. Not that you would really know it looking at him. Does kind of look like the again, same as the Robin Pokemon, kind of starting Pokemon in the original kind of area where you find all the normal like Bidoof and shit, and you know, all those kind of guys. But he's fighting type, which is rather interesting, because if we're moving away from the kind of stereotypical normal type that you find in an early route, that could be rather interesting, and certainly gives you a more broad spectrum to do something with it. Perhaps it could actually turn out to be a decent Pokemon, unlike things like Bibarel, which are okay, but never really amounted to much. So he has a new move which is called Parting Remark. We have not really any information on what this move does or anything at all. We just know what it's called. Of course, Parting Remark isn't going to be what it's called in English as well. This is Japanese translation to, you know, what it would be in English. It's not localized, as it were, just kind of a raw translation. So he's interesting. He looks cool. I'm certainly very interested to find out more about this guy. But for certain, the most interesting Pokemon is the next one we're going to move into, and let's take a look at that right now. Okay, so this is Gogoat. He is apparently a mono grass type, as has been confirmed, and has the move Horn Leech. Now, you might say, that's a little bit boring. He looks cool and everything. He's, mono grass, and he's a goat. But he's a goat! I mean, come on, guys. We need more goat Pokemon in the world. You know how I feel about Cobalion, my main man in charge. He looks really awesome. Certainly the coolest looking out of these 4 Pokemon that we have. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to evolve. Maybe he's just going to be kind of a standalone goat on his own there. But perhaps the coolest thing about this goat is not just he's a Pokemon. It's not just you can use him in battle, because that would be great, right? Using him in battle, he could use moves like Horn Leech, as I have said. However, ladies and gentlemen, let's take a look at another scan and see what else you can do with the goat. So at first glance, you may not really be able to glean anything from this scan. However, zoom in and you can see, ladies and gentlemen, that the trainer is riding the goat through the streets. Hello? Yes? Thank you, and thank you again and again. This is really cool. Like, could we do this with multiple Pokemon as like mounts? Ride around the street on them? I know it's been cool in the past with like Pikachu and Yellow following you around, and then like Heart Gold and Soul Silver, they just follow you behind you. But riding one? Like, imagine like from the 3rd movie riding on top of goddamn Entei. Like, possibility for this. It's incredible. It looks really cool, and for certain that is the most exciting thing I feel about coming out of this, is being able to ride a goat! Ride a goat in a Pokemon game. Who would have thought it? I would not have predicted that in my wildest dreams, but honestly, it's wow. Pretty much stunned me. So, wow, that's pretty cool. But we do have a little bit more information on some other things, so I will kind of run through that, and then we will, I guess, finish off the video, and hopefully in the future we'll have more information on all this stuff. But for now, let's jump into some extra stuff. So we have known for a while that there is going to be some sort of customization involved in X and Y. It's pretty clear from the initial trailer anyway, the fact that the trainer was kind of staring in a mirror with like a cap on and stuff, that there would be some sort of character customization. You could change what your trainer looked like, and certainly from this screenshot that we have, this scan, that seems to be the case. As you can see, multiple facial features available for the male and female avatars, and I guess that's just confirmation really more than anything that there will be full-on customization available in these games, which is very exciting, and certainly something I feel should have probably been implemented a long time ago in the Pokemon games. But hey, I guess it's good now, and certainly makes sense when you're starting your first kind of 3D entry into the main series, and yeah, I'm excited for that. Certainly going to be able to help distinguish people from one another, and great, I'm glad it's in there. Some other details regarding the region and cities and that kind of thing have also been announced. Of course, we must remember that this is all in translation and will not be what the final English name is, but the region is supposedly called Karos region and is apparently based on France. This would kind of confirm things from the initial trailer we saw of X and Y, where kind of Eiffel Tower looking building was spotted as a trainer kind of roller skated down a street, and apparently that main city where the Eiffel Tower kind of structure is based is going to be called Mier City, and obviously this is going to be kind of the equivalent to the big city in Black and White, which kind of based on New York City, and seems very interesting. I'm very interested to see kind of how they take a European flavor and add it into a Pokemon game. Certainly something very different and distinctive, and you know, it's going to look great, I'm sure, in the 3D and everything, and because it's all going to be fully polygonal and all that great stuff. But that's all we kind of have in terms of region and cities and places, but also apparently that screenshot where you're riding the goat is also taking place in Mier City, which is the main city, so I guess that's also useful information. But there you go, that about wraps up all that we know so far from these scans. So, what do you guys think? Are you excited about all these new Pokemon? Do you think that there's going to be some more interesting things revealed about X and Y, specifically to do with things like riding a goat in the middle of the street? That's pretty cool. And what else do you think about these Pokemon in general? Leave all your comments, thoughts, opinions, discussions in the comment section below as always. And of course, if you enjoyed this video and perhaps learned something from it, then please give the video a like. It definitely helps greatly and allows other people to see it and perhaps glean some information for themselves. So that is going to be me for this impromptu news segment. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Goodbye.